Hello, everyone. Those of you that are coming on live, those of you that are watching the replay. Today's live, I'm going to talk about love and clarity as currency. I'm going to talk about a couple of different topics, but I want to put them all into one cohesive stream of thoughts, because those of you that know me, you understand how multidimensional I am and how many different directions I go in a stream, because I can see the multi-layers to every topic. I can see how there are many different threads when we want to address the root issue of a cause, no matter what the cause is that we want to address, no matter what the pain is that we want to address, the pain point is. There will always be multiple causes that you will have to look at to get to the root of that issue or the core of that issue. And we'll see where I focus on today. But what I wanted to start off by sharing is this activation that I had yesterday. Yesterday was the Christmas holiday, and on December 25th. And I was tuning into the energy of that because there are a lot of opinions, there are a lot of different ways that we experience these holidays when we start to awaken or we get on a path where we are understanding the deeper meaning behind everything. And when I was feeling into the energy for myself personally, love is love is love is love. Any opportunity that we have to celebrate love, we should take it. We should enjoy the love. We should enjoy the presence. And there's a way to do that that's balanced within ourselves. And there's a way to do that so that we're honoring our soul, so that we're honoring our purpose here on earth, so we can cut through the noise of consumption and consumerism and get to the core of what these days are, so that we could see the truth behind the energy that we need to tap into. So when I was tapping in and I was feeling into the energy of this holiday, and I was raised not Christian, so it has different meaning to me, it has different context to me. And then having come from a family that immigrated from a different country, from Guyana, coming to the United States of America, it's a tradition that was adopted. So for me to come back, and especially after my awakening, for me to come back into fully allowing myself to accept and celebrate the holiday for what it is, to love the holiday, to love the people that are in that holiday spirit, I think there was this whole process that happened. And more specifically, there were some financial challenges that I was experiencing and going through. So all of that triggered a very deep root clearing and a very deep ancestral clearing inside of me. And when I tell you it was intense, I'm going to be so raw with you guys. I felt like my uterus was coming out my hole. It was so intense. And the experience that I had, I'll just share with you the experience as it happened. I was in the shower. I had just come back from a run, and I was in the shower, and I could see all the parts and the lack in my root chakra that was asking to be released. And I could feel it. And as I started to feel this pain and I started to cry in the shower, I knew that I was releasing something. And when I started to pull all that light in and all that energy into my body, I kept saying, I am love, and I am here. I am love, and I am here. I am love, and I am here. And what that did was trigger my higher self to open up to receive more energy, open up to receive more safety in my root, The safety coming from the safety and security that's provided from knowing who you are and all that is. Not one that's being provided from a false self of identity. But being identified with all that you are in the cosmos, your multi-dimensionality. And for those of you that don't know me and are listening, I'm Hema. Hi. I am an investor, author. I always say I'm a multidimensional being first and foremost, because I have many different roles on this planet, many different roles in this body, many different roles in the cosmos. But the way that I'm expressing it right now is through being an investor and an entrepreneur and an author. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my book. It's From Homeless to Healer. It's not available yet. It's going to be available on Amazon again soon. I'm republishing it. And I'm going to read a passage or take a excerpt from a passage today and dive deeper into it to address the topic of the live, which is love and clarity is the ultimate currency. But to go back to this experience that I was having, and as I was pulling in that love, and I knew that I was signaling to higher self to detach me from the matrix, detach me from my limitations and my lack beliefs, and pull in all my source energy into my body so that I could live in deeper purpose, so that I could actualize deeper purpose. I was signaling and showing that I wasn't afraid to be in my body, that I wasn't afraid of who I am, and I wasn't afraid of actualizing that here on this planet at this time. And I wasn't afraid of letting go of all of my pain, all of my past trauma, all of my past experiences with family, with partners, with money, in my relationship with money. And Christmas is a difficult time of year for many people because there's a lot of lack and guilt and shame if you're not able to buy the people that you love the presents that you want to buy them, if you're not able to provide the experience that you want to provide for the people that you love, that can keep you in a very dense state of being. And that can allow you to feel a lot of guilt and shame. And that actually blocks out the energy of source, the energy of the universe, the energy of all that is to come in and provide for you. Which is why it's important to just go back to that state of understanding that love and clarity is the ultimate currency. If you can find a way to dispel all the confusion in your mind, body, and mental space, you can allow for love and clarity to come in. And that's why we do this energy work. To release the confusion of the limiting beliefs, the ancestral pain, the childhood traumas, to come into clarity of who you are. And when you guys see me doing the mudras or the hand movements, know that we're just moving the energy. We're allowing for the energy to open up. We're allowing for your higher self to just come in, show you that love, give you that perspective. So that you have a direct experience of what I'm sharing here. You have a direct experience from your soul's knowing of what's being said here. And you're opening up to that light. And you're opening up to that understanding. I was reading a book around money, and I'll share the title later if you DM me. And I resonated with the book a whole lot. And then there was a piece that I felt was missing, because it was talking about when you're in a state of joy, when you're in that state of love and receptivity, then of course you could receive money and you'll be able to amplify it. And what I felt like it wasn't addressing directly was that when you have a lot of ancestral pain, you don't even realize all the ways in which you're blocking that energy from coming into your life. And when we tune into the energy of money and we want to start to repair our relationship with money, there are two ways that we could look at it. In one sense, there's this actual physical need for money to provide for our basic needs, our basic living expenses. And then there's this energy of currency that provides for our well-being. And when we start the process to allow ourselves to learn how to combine these two energy, that physical money that we experience here in this reality, and that energy of currency, which is very multidimensional, and we merge the two, then we come into deeper alignment on how we create our money, how we create that currency in our life to provide for our basic needs, where we're not sacrificing anything. And I want you to feel your heart opening as I dive into that, because this morning in my meditation, when I was diving in, I had a huge heart opening. And all that activation that was happening yesterday from the root was coming up into my heart and integrating in my body in a very deep way. And I want to transmit that to you guys now. Because as a multidimensional being, I have very real experiences with money. I have a daughter, I have a company. I obviously have to pay rent and have basic needs. And download and stream in all my multidimensional information of the future. A big part of me is living in the future. And in the sense that I'm building out this reality, I'm building out this future vision that I have for my sector of humanity, for my sector of reality. And that's why I'm in my body. That's why I am here on earth at this time. And to be able to continue to bridge those two things, that's my life's purpose. That's my life's work. So it takes a lot of understanding, a lot of work. Work in the sense of duty, of dharma, and knowing that I'm supported by all that is, knowing that I'm supported by Source in being able to do this and bridge these two worlds. That's the love and the clarity, which equals the currency that fuels my life, that will continue to fuel my life. And even in any blockages that I experience, I understand that there's a lesson that needs to be learned. There's a tool that I need to learn how to use. There's a gift for me to receive in going through that lack and that struggle. So I'm always orienting to the positive side of any struggle. It takes a while to practice to be able to orient to the positive side of the struggle, to understand the gift that you are receiving, the tools that you are receiving. So we're going to take a moment here to receive those gifts and receive those tools from the field. The field being that multidimensional connection between us and the universe and each other, allowing that to power us up. And I want to take it to a passage in my book where I was writing about a friend that I had when I was building my first company. And they made a statement to me, and they said, money is not what you need. And that was maybe 15 years ago, just about 15 years ago. I remember being 23 years old and hearing him say that statement. And the resistance the pushback that I gave. And then now fast forward to where I am now, coming into a very deep understanding. Obviously there was levels to the understanding, but coming into a very deep understanding of what that actually means. And as I broke it down to different layers and different levels of understanding and experience, which is why it took 15 years, because you're always going to unpack different facets of very catalytic events in your life, awakening being one such catalytic event. But being told at a time where I thought money was what I needed, being told that that's not what I needed, and then having to go through that process of understanding what is it that I truly need right now. It's a sense of direction. It's a sense of self. It's a sense of identity. And doing that in the most clarified way. Because ultimately, when you're trying to create external success and you're trying to place value on that external success, it's not a game of your truth. It's a game of limitation. And when you put all your value on that external success, you are doing it at the expense of self-love and at the expense of your inner knowing. And I have full-on details in my book, full story, full transparency of exactly how it played out and how it went down. But the main thing to pull from that is when you are more attached to what you're losing, as opposed to being attached to what you are gaining, then you're in that imbalance of energy. Then what you want to create externally doesn't match what you want to create internally. And then you're constantly in that dichotomy or that duality of experience. And you feel torn. And in that feeling torn, you won't harness your power. When we allow this to bridge, or when we allow it to merge inside of ourselves, then you can harness the full power of that experience. So what I want us to do right now, I'm going to just take us into a meditation and into an activation to help this bridge in our chakra system. So we can just drop in right now. Allow ourselves to receive. And what I feel is happening specifically in my field right now is just a lot of golden energy. Very, very, very thick golden energy. And in my solstice activation, which is up on my page, you can also DM me for the link. In my solstice activation, I tapped into this golden energy and allowed us to transmute the energy of gold on this planet into this solar energy and this solar power. And coming into clarity around what currency is and how to merge and bridge money and currency is us allowing ourselves to tap back into the power of the sun and the energy of the sun to fuel money, to fuel our bodies, to change the nature of how we exchange here. And it starts with simple meditation. It legitimately is that simple. You start with meditation. You just tap in. It's no excuse. I mean, if you want to make excuses, go ahead. But for those of us that are tired of making excuses of why we don't have what we want in our lives or why we feel unfulfilled and a whole bunch of other mess, is because we're not taking the time to sit and tune in. Tuning into your heart, tuning into your feelings, tuning into your connection with all that is. So we're going to do that right now. And you're going to feel that energy from the sun come all the way down through your crown, through your third eye, through the throat, dropping into the high heart. And today we're just going to stay with the high heart. I'm not going to take us all the way down to the root. I will do a 1-1 portal activation in my community. So if you want to receive the finishing and the grounding of this activation, DM me and I'll give you the link to that call. But we're going to bring all this energy into the high heart now. We're going to let it stream into our bodies. And just allow yourselves to drink it up. Allow your body, your mind, your cells, your being to drink up this energy. To be imbued and imbibed by this energy. Because the openness and the receptivity is the first step. Then you will allow yourself to come into that state of love, to come into that state of clarity, to understand what the ultimate currency is, and to trust and surrender in that ultimate currency. Feel that activate the high heart and the heart space. Allowing yourself to receive this transmission of love and of clarity and of ultimate currency. And we're going to take a few moments to integrate all of this information, all of this energy into our heart, pulling it down into our heart. I want to thank you all for being on here with me, sitting with me in this energy, being here at the forefront of this awakening, making the changes that we need to make here on this earth. For those of you that want to complete the activation during the 1-1 portal, DM me and I will send you a link to the community where I'm going to pull this down very powerfully in our bodies so that we can actualize and realize the change, create the actual physical, monetary, financial currency that we need in our lives in a way that is aligned and fulfilled with our soul's calling and purpose and being. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful day.